Welcome back to the Realm Report. It's been a busy month as the old world recently celebrated 3 years since first becoming a realm. I'll touch more on that in a bit, but for now, let's jump right into the topics. Several people have been reaching out to me over the past few months asking how I've been keeping myself occupied throughout this seemingly never-ending frogdemic. Well, after issuing the stay at base order in July, I decided to utilize some of my newfound time working on the long-running White House project. Initially, my plan was to bring in an outside builder, as I hoped to gain some differing opinions on what the White House could become. But after discussing it with a few people, and being disgusted with their ideas, it was clear that I'd have to take matters into my own hands, and felt that the best course of action would be a complete conversion of the exterior walls from iron blocks to quartz. But as a single white-like paste working alone, I was well aware that this task could possibly take me decades. However, a group of white-like pastes working together would possess roughly half the skill of one competent Minecrafter. Fortunately, I had maintained a correspondence with the white-like paste clones ever since freeing them from Plague's palace, and they informed me that they had been working on their own massive empire to rival.
旧世界
So I decided to seek them out and get a glimpse of this new area, which from the sound of things would be even more imaginative than some of the most majestic locations in the old world. When I arrived, I was shocked to see that each of the clones had developed their own unique look and style, and even more surprising was that they had already completed roughly 1/16 of the first build, meaning that they had drastically increased their build speed. After all, I wasn't asking them to build me an entirely new structure from the ground up. This would just be a simple conversion. I then spent the next 37 hours explaining the complexities of what needed to be done, and after completing a series of demos, it was time to get to work. And as expected, we were able to fully transition the White House from iron blocks to quartz in only a few short weeks. But as the clones were nearing the end of the project, something remarkable happened that I believed would turn the tide in the war on frogs. Shockingly, some of Plague's evil programming still resided deep within these clones, and I had now inadvertently assembled an army that could potentially take back the capital. But there was still one problem. I had no one who could lead them into battle. I mean, after all, I'm no murderer.
God.
What they needed was a ruthless, cold-blooded killer, skilled in the art of exterminating poor, defenseless animals. And there was only one person who I felt was up to that task. Meanwhile, a massive battle had been taking place within the capital, as several oldies were attempting to drive down the frog population, while others made a conscious effort to actually save the frogs. But just when it seemed as though all would be lost, the clones arrived to even the score, and an all-out war broke out the likes of which the old world has never seen. Day turned into night. Night turned into day. Day turned back into night. And night turned into day again. Anyway, you get the point. And when all was said and done, peace was restored to the capital. And while I'm glad to finally put this whole situation behind us, my only regret is that we may never know the true origins of the frogdemic. Earlier this month, Zulu created a poll to gauge interest in a potential shopping district revamp. As the shopping district has grown over the past 2 years, we've consistently run into issues regarding how much space we have available. While several attempts have been made to expand the amount of land for new shops, we're reaching a point where we need to adjust the overall layout of the shopping district in order to accommodate even more shops in the future. It was suggested by one crazed lunatic that we should abandon the current shopping district in favor of moving to some random new location. However, this idea completely undermines the element of history that has been central to the identity of the old world ever since it first became a realm. Therefore, beginning on September 8th and running until the 10th, the old world will be taken offline in order for the revamp to be done behind the scenes. The multi-world will be available on the server during this time, so I encourage everyone to spend some time on there if you haven't done so already. In addition to the revamp, we'll also be making some adjustments to the existing shopping district guidelines. The most important of these is a decrease in the current maximum shop size from 30 by 30 to 20 by 20. The reason for this is simply space conservation. What we've noticed with some existing shops is that they aren't necessarily requiring such a large amount of space, but still taking up the full plot regardless. Existing shops will be grandfathered in and won't need to be updated, but any new shops added beyond this point are expected to adhere to this new guideline. If any changes need to be made to the existing plan, they'll be communicated to everyone throughout the month. In addition to the shopping district revamp, the jungle mayors are also looking to establish a dedicated shopping district within the jungle. The new shopping district will be located in the southeast portion of the jungle. There are several pre-existing builds along this pier that will be looking to convert into shops. A new portal has also been added for easy accessibility. If you're interested in potentially opening a shop, just reach out to BMX or Sam is Gaming, and they can help you get set up. As I mentioned earlier, this month the Old World celebrated 3 years since first becoming a realm. To celebrate this occasion, on August 21st, a bunch of us gathered behind the White House for the first in what will ultimately be an annual group photo. In total, we were able to get about 35 people online at a single time, setting a new record for the most people ever on the server at once. Elite XXX was on site signing cactuses before and after the photo. Overall, the whole process went pretty smoothly, so thanks to everyone who took the time to participate in this year's group photo. I wanted to provide an update on some of the bots we use in the Discord. First, this month we activated the birthday functionality that comes with Ziggy. If you'd like to add your birthday, you can simply type /rememberbirthday, and when prompted, enter the specific date. The bot will keep track of your birthday and send out a happy birthday message whenever that day comes around. In addition to that, there were also some changes to the bot we use to manage badges. While the previous commands started with T4, they've now been switched over to / commands. To see the different / commands that are available, you can just type / into the chat channel and select the T4 bot from the list on the left to see the different commands. While these changes have brought some improvements on how badges are displayed, there's still some confusion over how to adjust which badges are displayed next to people's names. As I get more information on how to resolve this issue, I'll be sure to share it with you then. Although most of the frogs have been eliminated, there's still a few out there that managed to avoid the initial extermination. As such, a cleanup crew was established to hunt down these remaining frogs in order to prevent a potential second wave. One person who's been assisting in that cleanup is Upton. He's back with us today to provide an update on how those efforts have been going. This month we held the first of an entirely new event called Hide and Shriek. This event was different in that it was our first attempt at team-based PvP. The format was also a little different in that we split the teams into different voice channels for easier communication. BMX and Princess took first place, Chozo and Peculiar placed second, Resculin and Zulu came in third, and Willow and Sparkle took fourth. Special thanks to Willow for taking the time to establish an all-new arena for this event. Next month, we'll be returning to the jungle for the second jungle run. This one expands on the concept of the original by adding a bunch of new obstacles to traverse as players race through the jungle. Since this is essentially a free-for-all event, there's no limit on how many people can participate. Be sure to mark yourself as interested if you plan to attend. The Jungle Run number 2 will be held on September 25th. And that wraps things up for this edition of the Realm Report. See you on the server.
Who took out their teammate?
Peculiar accidentally killed Chozo in one of their rounds before.
I missed that. Maybe that's why Chozo's not crouching. He wants to make sure Peculiar can see.